Hey y'all, I'm Carolina Tony. Today the road brings me to Rockingham, North Carolina. And I am here at a site that I have wanted to explore for a very long time. For many years it has been grown over with kudzu and vines and all, but it's been cleaned off as it is in the process of being turned into something entirely different. This is the site of the former Great Falls Textile Mill. It was chartered in 1869, so this is a very old textile mill. And we're going to take a look at its ruins, as well as the ruins of a few other mills in the area. And we'll get started right after this station identification. This is where we're located. The Great Falls Mill was built around 1869. It was destroyed by fire in 1972, and of course this is how it looks today. This is Business 74 running along, and Highway number 1, and then Highway 220 running right here. There were mills all over the place. There was the PD mill, which was upstream, the PD mill number 2, the Cheraw mill, the Steels mill. There were a lot of textile mills. Great Falls Mills was chartered in April of 1869. It was in Rockingham, North Carolina, along the Falling Creek area, next to the railroad line that ran from Wilmington to Charlotte. The company was acquired in November of 1868 from the Richmond Manufacturing Company. Prior to that, the mill had been burned down in 1865 when General Sherman marched through Rockingham. This place has really been cleaned up. For as long as I can remember, it was all overgrown with kudzu and vines and the forest. To really get a good idea of what this textile mill may have looked like back in the day. This is all part of the dam that would have provided the power to the textile mill. Textile mill was a complete facility, meaning not only did it spin the yarn, but it also made the cloth and dyed it as well, and was one of the largest in the South at the time. I understand that there are plans about that will turn this place into an event venue. You see where some of the building is beginning to start taking shape over this direction. When it closed in 1930, it remained closed, being used just as a storehouse. The mill burned again in 1972 and was never rebuilt. I am fortunate that I've been able to come down and capture some of this morning. As you see, some of the bricks are being stacked up, and I'm sure they'll be repurposed somewhere else or taken off entirely. But I'm imagining it won't be long before it will not have any resemblance of what we see today. Of course, this plant was in Rockingham, North Carolina, one of several textile mills that once stood in the area.
Over my shoulder is the former Ledbetter Mill that has been turned into condos now, known as the Cheraw Mill condos. I'll show a little bit of the mill and the surroundings, but there's something that's missing. Can you tell me what it is? This was known as Ledbetter Mill, built around 1884, I think. And it lasted until 1894 when it was destroyed by lightning and rebuilt. And then in the 1970s, 1980s, it was turned into Cheraw's Mill, upscale condos. And sitting on this peaceful lake. Really cool. As with a lot of textile mills in the South, they were built near water or where water could be diverted to them because they relied on that water energy to turn wheels to make things go. Well, I just left the Ledbetter plant and drove all the way around the lake and the woods to get back to Robberdale. And you see, the Robberdale Mill, there was a mill village. Ledbetter Mill, no signs of a mill village anywhere. Has it been torn down and grown over? I really don't know. If you know, be sure to comment. The old company store. This is a part of the Robberdale plant, as well as that flat area down there. I'm not 100% sure, but because it is flat and it is on this lake next to this waterfall, I'm going to assume this is where the plant was at one time. This is one of the old plants. You see the brick portion is still up. In the early to mid 1900s, this plant would have been in its glory. Of course, a railroad track to make easy access to getting goods in and out. And of course, the mill village, easy walking distance to work. You can see, for many years, many employees walking right under this awning on their way to work. Walking right through gate number 1 on the way to work, through the turnstile. Still in East Rockingham, but right down the street is the remnants of another mill that has been burned and is being torn down right now as we speak. This building on the corner, I am pretty sure this was part of the mill. It looks like it has been probably remodeled and used for some other purpose. Kind of looks like something that you would see after a war, doesn't it? This would have been a warehouse, I'm sure. Long been vacant. And I would guess probably the reason for it being burned was vandals. A lot of these old textile mills in this area had maple wood flooring, and I can imagine 100 years old of dried out maple, this thing going up like a torch. From this area, you can see high on the hill over in that direction, another water tower. That would have been the site of another textile mill, all here in East Rockingham. I'm still in the East Rockingham Mill Village section, but I wanted to stop and get this old station. You don't see many like this anymore. It would be neat if someone would take this station and restore it and kind of turn it into a museum like. So cool. This building right across the street from the abandoned textile mill is in the process of being reclaimed by nature. The mill village. It's my hopes that these little short videos that documents some of these old things, because one day they'll be gone and people will wonder what it was like back then. Well, that is going to do it for our trip to Rockingham, North Carolina, and explore these old textile mills. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give me a big old thumbs up. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. But until next time, y'all have a good day.